Okay. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Fall of Avanswell. I hope everybody's having a fine day. Ready for some adventure? Our intrepid heroes are walking through a portal. What does that mean for them? We'll find out today. Why don't we give our D20s, get a little bit of initiative, and so we can give some introductions, and we can ask the question for today. This is a question that apparently is an interesting one, because it's what's the most important lesson the person who raised you taught you. That's my question for everybody. Right. So it looks like we have Calder, Ixbanor, and Umbrin. So, start with you.
Oh, gotcha. Weird. The die didn't pop up for me. Weird.
Sometimes it doesn't scroll down enough, so you have to scroll down manually.
Yeah.
No, it was weird for me just for a second.
Yeah.
It had Calder pop up, Ixbanor pop up, and then had Umbrin pop up. The Umbrin popped up for me in between the two of them, so it messed everything up.
Sure.
Anyway.
The most important lesson that Calder was taught growing up was by his dad, who told him in shorter words to just never stop moving.
Okay.
People who don't stop moving don't get hurt.
Unless they move into a trap.
True.
And just your character.
Yep. Playing Calder Wrynn, human gunslinger of middling skill.
Fine enough.
Trying to be the straight man of the party, but I don't think it's been working out so far.
It's an interesting assortment that you've found yourself associated with.
Yeah, I'll slip away from these guys one of these days. They can only hold me for so long.
Exactly. Anyway, Wyrm.
I'm Diamond Wyrm. I play Ixbanor, the awakened animal ferret alchemist, or sorcerer alchemist, dedicated alchemist. Anyway, the most important thing that my master taught me was to not be terrified of absolutely everything bigger than me. It was a long process.
I can see how important that can be if you are a small animal. Alright, and then finally, Yosef.
There we go, got my rules back.
I am Joe. I am playing Umbrin Wisespark, the Liminal Fetchling Animist. And I would say probably my most important lesson was the lesson my cleric guy that I learned a lot of things from told me that the gods may be dead, but you can still hear their whispers.
It's ominous. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Umbrin is just a goth.
I'm starting to understand that now.
So, yes, if you missed last time, everybody ended up, you went through the misadventures of capturing a creature. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Misadventures. Yeah. It took you two creatures before you found one that you got captured. You managed to knock out, put in a box, cover it in the resin, except with its head sticking out. So you have a weird bird, cat, badger badger monster. Its head sticking out. Cassowary cheetah badger monster. Kind of head sticking out of this thing. And they're just in a box. Making sure that when you push the box, you're not close enough for its head to get at you. Not that its head can move very much. Nor that it hasn't been, almost drugged up the entire time you've had it there.
Whenever it starts screaming, I'll just walk back and smack it with the hammer.
But it starts screaming the sounds of the dead.
Are you playing whack-a-mole?
It's either that or listen to Horde screeching for the next however long we're stuck in the back rooms.
I know, I'm just saying.
Anyway,
Whack-a-mole.
managed to find a gateway to somewhere else and then move it to somewhere else. And Umbrin had a nice chat with some people that, this may mean something in the future. It may not. And then you all went through the portal. That's where you left off.
And I took some. I think I took some brain damage.
I mean, you were unconscious. Very much so. Even on top of it. So, alright. And that is where we were. Anyway. You will kind of plummet through the portal, and this will feel different than last time. It is much more rough, violent, as if you are you feel as almost though you are being pushed into a stream of water and is falling through it. As if, you're plummeting down a waterfall. And, then everything will just hit with a smack. I need everybody to roll me a d20 except for Umbrin, as you are
Unconscious.
unconscious.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Alright, and can someone run me one for Talas, just to see where he's at?
Alright.
I'll roll one for him.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
Because it's
you
just
didn't
a
roll.
D20, so.
I don't know who controls Talas.
Well, I'm just rolling a D20.
Well,
That's
it's just a
Talas's.
D20, so it can't really
oh, yeah,
do
there's
a
no
roll.
mod,
So I was
yeah.
just gonna do a roll.
Calder,
Yeah.
you are going to kind of open your eyes as you are now face down on dirt black ground. You can feel a mess, as you can see below you is just this soot charred earth. You can hear wind ripple in the outside and the sounds of thunder coming from somewhere nearby. As you kind of get up, you can kind of see, it's only for a second, but it looks as though somewhere up above in whatever room you're in, there's a black swirling kind of portal, and it will close.
Is the
It
bird
looks
still
like
with me, or
all
is
of
the
you
bird gone?
basically were... the bird is currently, alive, but also, it's over on its side now. Its head is kind of, laying on the ground, and you can see that it is got this strange purple glowing aura emitting from it.
Well, at least it's quiet for now.
You're in a massive chamber of some kind. It looks like it was maybe some important place somewhere, but the entire thing seems burnt and ruined. A massive dome, which, just from the edges of it, looks as though it may have had once great arc on it, now lies open, and above it, rumbling and moving storms, clouds of pure blackness, where you can kind of hear and see flashes of red lightning coming from them. The hall looks like it has tiered seatings coming up from this center where all of you have fallen into and seem unconscious. As you're kind of there, though, Talas starts to stir. As you're kind of taking things. So think almost like an amphitheater, I would say,
Okay.
except it's a giant circular amphitheater and you're in the center.
Gotcha. Is
And-
Ixbanor unconscious currently?
Ixbanor is unconscious, and so is Umbrin.
Gotcha. I'll go over and I'll pick up Ixbanor and shake him in one of my hands a bit. Get up. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Ixbanor, you're shaken violently awake.
There's probably a flurry of claws and freaked out Ferret. For
You probably
a
lift
second.
up your hand and it's got the ferret hooked onto you to bit you. And you're like,
I'll just
"Ow!"
have you by the scruff, just arm extended outwards.
Ow!
None of that now. Come on.
Sorry.
We have to get up Umbrin and we gotta go.
So you call the circular amphitheater? Does it look like it's in ruins? Or
Yes, everything is destroyed. Okay. It looks almost like there's a level of like burning that happened on the thing. Everything seems destroyed. The way I would describe this amphitheater is it's not just like seating. It would be more akin to like a lecture hall or some kind of place where people probably would meet, as it's like seating behind like circular, almost desk areas that can go across with it looks like 4 stairwells that kind of lead up the sides of it, 4 staircases, and then set inside one of the areas is a set of double doors that seems to lead outside of this chamber, and the doors are wide open, with one of them completely off its hinges on the ground, and the other one kind of like barely hanging on.
Okay. Well, this is ominous.
Yeah. I'll put Ixbanor down since you're no longer horribly enfeebled. And I'll shake Umbrin awake. Just like
Umbrin
shaking your shoulder.
Not respond.
That's bad. That's really bad.
I slap Talas on the shin and say, "Hey, for once you don't have to carry me."
You gotta carry this one, though.
Where are we?
That's a fantastic
good question.
You would estimate you probably basically plummeted about 20 feet outside the portal, but you don't feel the weight of the fall. Maybe you were protected by the energies for this a little bit, but certainly speaking, the area where Calder, you saw the portal is above. Yeah. And again, it's gone.
Beginning to think going through the Nightmare Hell portal was a bad idea.
Not the best, no.
Oh well. Alright. Well, we're gonna have to find a way out of here. Might as well try one of the stairs. Just follow behind me. Keep Umbrin towards the back.
The stairs would just lead to the upper tiers of the amphitheater.
Gotcha.
So really the only exit you see is through the double doors. Think of that like, an entrance in like a big stadium, it's got those tunnel entrances with seating.
Gotcha. Okay. We'll do that then. Yeah. I'll walk in front. I would like Talas and Umbrin to be closer to the back since Umbrin's unconscious and needs slightly more protection. And then I will approach the double doors.
What are you doing with your weird glowing bird?
Good point.
It is
the cart.
glowing now.
Yeah. True.
The cart is working? It's very beat up now. It seems like it's beat up. It's been through some stuff.
I don't have any materials
I might need to repair that, but yeah, it was kind of ramshackle in the first place. But
yeah, sure.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic on this bird.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
It might be cursed.
There isn't a specific magic per se on it, but there seems to be some kind of magical reaction. What the hell it is, you don't know. But it's glowing and has kind of purple aura? The bird itself is also its head is over to the side, because it's got kind of a long neck a little bit, and it's kind of got its eyes kind of, you can't really tell how glazed over they are, but they're just glowing purple, and its tongue is sticking out of its beak.
I see.
Does it look okay? I have a question.
It does look alive, at least. It is breathing, so
that's good.
It's not dead, just
Yet.
Something weird's going on with it, even more so than it's normal. Well, I mean, a lot of weirds happen with it. This
It looks
adventure.
half dead to me.
Well, as long as it's alive enough to test.
Can we have Talas pull the cart and carry Umbrin?
He could probably do both, but it would slow him down a lot.
Even if he lags behind a bit, because I can't pull the cart if I'm going to be wielding my weapon, which I would like to keep up at all times. Unfortunately,
I mean,
this firearm
yeah.
is two-handed.
Yeah, it's...
It's best we go slower anyways. We don't want to miss anything or run into a trap or ambush.
Would I be even able to pull the cart?
No.
Aren't you
You're very
aren't
tiny.
you,
But
yeah, I was
it's
gonna say,
very big.
aren't you size tiny?
Yes, I am size tiny.
I don't know if you can pull the cart, bro.
Like,
Yeah, that's
I'll-
you might be able,
Yeah.
you might be able to push it, but not with very much control. Like in a push it and let it like control itself. You don't have the size to manipulate.
My theory is that it basically slows down as much as Talas doing both.
Yeah.
Calder, just grow another arm.
Oh, why didn't I think of that? I might end up doing that if this place is horribly irradiated. Yeah, we'll just have Talas pull it for now, and then if we get into a fight, just kick it to the side of the room.
It's probably easier for him, honestly, to push it, as it is technically
That's
on
fair.
kind of. It's like a, I would say like it's like a damaged shopping cart. You know, the wheels kind of work, but they don't quite work. So you oftentimes have to fight with them.
Yeah.
So that's
As
kind of
long
what
as-
he's dealing with. It still
Yeah.
moves forward, just sometimes it veers off to a side.
As long as he's the one carrying it, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Or dealing with it will be fine.
Hey,
you-
Talas, also juggle these 3 balls.
Uh-huh.
Talas, invent a car for us.
Anyway. Alright. So you can move out of the chamber.
Yep.
Heading out.
Yeah. I guess Calder's first, I'm last. We'll go with that.
Calder. You can head out through the double doors and it will lead into some kind of hall that seems to be beyond the chambers. The hallway is somewhat well decorated, except for the fact that the massive windows that once flanked the other side of the hall are now completely gone, leaving in weather and nature to kind of get a view of it. What you see before you is the ruins of some form of city. You do not recognize the city. You have never been to this one. Though I will tell you, Ixbanor, you can probably make a lore check. You might, because you acknowledge and you can use any, you can roll lore. Just you Arcana.
Well, I can roll recall knowledge.
It's a recall knowledge. check.
Because there are some variants. But yeah, okay, let me do that. And I should, I still have another use of Pocket Library, so let's do that.
Okay.
Well, cast it at 3rd level, which means I have 2 uses of it. Where's... Oh, there. I had to remember where skills were. Oh, my mouse out of the way. Okay.
32. That is very good. All right.
Yeah, that was a 19.
You instantly know where you are at. You are in Crooksfang. Crooksfang is the heart of the Swamplands. It's the capital. And you must realize that you must be in the council chambers of the Elder Statesmen, the former seat of government of the country.
Okay, what is it called again? Crooks?
How do you put this? Crooksfang. Crooksfang is located on a massive lake. It's an island and also partially stilted above the water, combined with a kind of strange, massive mangrove trees and such in amongst it. So it's an area that does match city and nature very well. The lake itself was Reptile Lake, a very pleasantly placed name. the largest lake in the nation, and you are at the center of it theoretically right now.
Called Reptile Lake?
Yes, Reptile Lake. It was known for its massive populations of crocodilians and other reptiles.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're in the Swamplarns.
Gotcha.
Theoretically, if you could cross the lake and somehow survive the tainted land, you do know that the West Blue River, the river that actually goes from the city you know about, good old Creston Pond. I'm trying to give you the Birchlings. The Birchlings is where the east and west rivers of the Blue River separate. The west one eventually goes here into this kind of lower area of Reptile Lake before another river does flow out of here to the ocean. So there's like kind of like a basin in it.
Okay. Across the lake, we can follow the river. Okay.
Right.
River to the.
Are we gonna cross it? Guess we could try and walk around it.
Didn't we rest in the?
You did rest.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah, I thought so. So you would have full uses of your pocket library except for this one. That's why I was asking that.
I think you used the pocket library once after you rested.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought
okay.
I did too.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
did, yeah.
You definitely can see from the ruins that the city is in ruins, but also twisted and strange amalgams of plants also seem to be popping up. The mangroves, as you'd identify them, that were once a prominent part about it, are kind of twisted and strange, covered in weird growths that glow with this kind of red light, and spines and all kinds of things. And there are noises out in the city itself.
So, the issue with us being in the Swamplarns is that the curse has taken effect here. Meaning everything will try and kill us.
Oh, you don't say.
This is probably the safest place because you are in a city, and it tends to be nature that becomes murderous.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any people surviving here.
I doubt it. How are we gonna get over the lake? Are there any boats nearby? Canoes, if you will.
It's a fairly large city. Probably wasn't the most dense population city, like kind of spread out, kind of intermingled with nature. Probably this is the tallest, largest building in the entire city, as you kind of see. Whether or not there are any remaining ways of travel on the edges, on the multiple docks that were on the edge of Crooksvan, hard to say. Ixbanor, you did roll exceptionally well. I will give you one more thing that I think you might be able to do something. That's going to be up to you. You will recall something that there is perhaps another way, though it might not work. Each of the main capitals had originally a teleportation circle connected to the other capitals.
Oh.
They were used very rarely and sparingly, as they required some basically external source of magic to activate. They weren't particularly the most effective, but they could transport groups of things. So traditionally, most times when there was a meeting, people just walked in. But in case of emergencies, you had it. You remember from your own home civilization, Cytherian, the Elven Kingdoms, there had been talk, especially through your master, of if things would go bad, it would cut off the circle from the rest of the network. But there wouldn't have been enough time to destroy the circle.
Yeah.
So if that same thing was basically used in all the other kingdoms, it would cut off. Theoretically, the circle should be mostly intact. Whether you can repair it or not, that's another thing. And it's probably not going to be connected to the network. But it might be able to give you a distance. And that could be an alternate to trying to find a boat and trying to go across the water. Granted, the water's probably safer than the land, You just have to worry about maybe giant mutated crocodiles and crocodilians instead of, the grass trying to devour your blood.
Yeah.
So there is a portal somewhere. Honestly, being in the Capitol building is probably the best way. That would probably be the safest way back. Granted, we do have to figure out how to power it, how to activate it, how to connect it back up with the portal network, potentially, how to actually, get to the place we want to go instead of somewhere else. It goes on like this for like a minute.
I think I get the gist. Well, bloodgrass. Well, if it has anything to do with anything here, hopefully Umbrin might have some answers. We're gonna have to find a way to wake him up, though. Do you know generally where the Capitol building might be here? I'm not big on city planning.
Well, we're in the Capitol building.
Oh, this is the Capitol building. Yes, it would appear this building is made out of building.
This building is made out of building.
It's made out of tiny other buildings.
I'm a mechanic, not a structural engineer. Alright, well, we could look around, I suppose. Any ideas? Library, maybe? I do not know what are in Capitol.
There probably wouldn't be a library in this building. You'd probably have to find, like, the what equivalently would be a magic school. It's not like the magic schools of a lot of other nations. It's probably, more simple, like, alchemical / herbalist kind of study. But there probably was one here in the city.
Gotcha. I'm gonna keep mental note of that so I can go ransacking later.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait, so where was it? Sorry, I totally zoned out there for a second.
You would have to find your way through the city to basically the equivalent of the magic school, which would have been more
Got it, magic school.
herbalist school,
yeah.
more than anything for this nation. There wasn't any kind of like arcane spellcasters. It's just they were not.
On the upside, when we do find it, I should be able to detect it. Yeah, we'll go with that. I was gonna say more, but we'll go with that.
Well, that's one bit of good news, I suppose. I could start walking around, just aimlessly wandering until we find something here.
Okay. Alright. Are you leaving the building then?
Yes.
Leaving the streets? There's a nice little swamp city. Some ideas on Swamp City. Anyway.
Switty.
Shell City.
Alright.
We built this Switty on
Anyway.
Add soil.
moss and
Are you
stone.
continuing to kind of have someone kind of move ahead while Talas pushes the stuff behind you very slowly and loudly?
I am keeping to the forefront.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out for potential ghouls or hooligans or ghouligans.
Okay. Give me a perception check then.
Of course. My perception is mid.
Basically, you're doing the what is it, seek?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Then, you'll be able to kind of navigate your way through the basic, streets here, effectively avoiding as much as you can. Because you begin to see the land around you react. It is kind of disturbing. Like, when you got a little close to a tree, you could see the thorns begin to kind of like almost align and point towards you. Or like, vines and like, roots begin to kind of like crawl out and move towards you. And you can just be trying to avoid the best of anything nature-y, honestly, here, which is kind of difficult in a horrible, overgrown swamp kingdom.
Yeah.
Streets are a mess. Everything seems gone and dead, and the noises are echoing.
The more we move, the less I think there are survivors. I'm gonna level with you.
It was worth a theory, and if we see anything that looks like a person, we should approach with caution.
As you move your way through the streets, the sky will start tearing open and rain will begin to fall. The noises are deafening, and you are getting soaked to the core in the rain here. Okay, everybody, I'll need Umbrin too. Give me just a straight fortitude save.
Oh, lovely.
Oof. And not my best.
What is with me and ones for fortitude saves?
You're just a guy. You're just a little guy.
Okay. And I'll need one from Talas.
It is horrifically unfortunate. It could be good. Maybe it's not like you die instantly effect fortitude save.
Yeah. Not die instantly. Don't worry about it.
Oh no.
You want me to roll Talas?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, let me open them up.
Alright, 29. Okay. So Talas is the only one that really made a good roll here.
I rolled a 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unconscious.
Oh no.
are-
No, you probably. Oh yeah, you did. You are currently unconscious. Yes.
You are indeed currently unconscious. Alright, so you will all gain drained 1.
Oof.
Your bodies feel as though, like, the water is, like, seeping into it, and you can feel, like, things almost feel like they're crawling through your skin. There's something unnatural about the rain that just feels awful to you.
Oh,
Do you mind putting our tokens on the map? Because it's way easier to add effects to a token
Sure.
in the way Foundry's built.
We should be able to add our tokens too.
Oh, you're right. We can do that. Never mind. Ignore me.
yeah.
I'm dragging everybody on.
Yeah,
That was
drained.
my two roll.
Drained is absolutely brutal.
It's...
Oh, there it
Are
goes.
you doing Talas with his roll?
Oh no, Talos didn't have that.
Where is-
Talos made a save. You did.
Thankfully, it's mostly negated by my toughness.
Drain. Oh, there it is. Drain.
Yeah, the 6 with green heart.
Well, it's good that Talas isn't drained.
Yeah.
Can someone roll perception for Talos?
Sure, hold on. I will juggle sheets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can.
That's a really good check. Hey, Ixbanor.
Yep.
What are those?
Yeah.
And what's happening?
What do you mean by that?
Okay. I look
You will
where
see,
he's
like,
pointing.
on the ground, strange little crawly worms are, like, struggling and almost, like, crisping near Talas and the cart.
Crispy.
Like, they're kind of, like, writhing for a minute, and they kind of, like, almost drying up and then eat it in the rain.
Does it look like it's coming out of the cart, or trying to go towards the cart?
It just seems to be on the ground.
Like when it rains, worms come out of the ground normally to breathe, but when they're coming out of the ground, they're dying.
Dying.
Yeah.
No, they
Let's
just
see.
seem to pop in from the rain. They didn't pop in from the ground.
Oh,
Get to shelter. Get to shelter.
that's worse.
Under a roof.
Yeah, I'm gonna run towards the nearest building.
Okay. You can find a wreckage building that still has a first floor. Its second floor is torn open. Maybe somebody's home at some point in time. The building is a little dilapidated, but still seems to be standing.
Just to get like maximum coverage, if there is a door, I'll just smash it and get fully inside.
Umbrin, you can remove your drained condition.
Yay!
Only Umbrin?
Oh.
Okay.
Talas will kind of say as
Okay.
he'll kind of point out as emerging from Umbrin's flesh are some more of those worms that then kind of fall to the ground and kind of like cook a little bit.
Wow, that's awful. Why am I here?
Good question.
I just wanted some nightshade and holly berries.
Oh
from that
god, Drain
stupid
actually takes
shop.
health away from you too, doesn't it?
Oh yes, it reduces your maximum HP by your level times your drained amount.
Yeah, it's basically a con penalty. It's
And,
basically the same as con damage.
And once the drain disappears, your max HP returns to normal, but you do not heal. It is
Yes.
rough. It is really rough, especially for higher level characters.
Thunder will continue to rumble, and bolts of red lightning will still continue to flash into the sky as the rain will continue to pour down. You're in some kind of like main chamber. It's basically like a bottom floor, top floor kind of situation. Probably like the bottom floor, as far as you can tell, would have just been like a single room, kitchen / dining room / everything else probably just upstairs being a single bedroom. So not much of a major household here overall for space. Though certainly you can see that there was once a root cellar, except now it has a the cellar door is open with some kind of twisted plant coming out, and you can see it's emerging from the entire basement. It's just flat. The plant's fortunately on the other side of the room, so probably if you don't get too close to it, you should be fine.
We're not going to be able to stay here forever. Is this a common thing here in Hell, Wyrm Reign?
So as a quick synopsis, every place that has been fully conquered by the Dread Army is cursed to where all life will attack any humanoid. I have no idea if the people of the Dread Army are immune, but definitely any person or creature that is sentient will be attacked.
Calder, Ixbanor, can the two of you give me another fortune save?
Of course. I've never stayed in one place long enough to see something like this. That's better than last time.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
As both of you are kind of standing around talking, all of a sudden you'll feel really awful as you'll see bursting from your flesh are some of those worms, which will then kind of like fall out to the ground and kind of sizzle also. And it just feels terrible and awful. And you feel better. Neither of you are drained anymore. You're grossed out.
Can I test some? I'm going to test something real quick.
Sure.
Never want to give away an opportunity for knowledge. Even with these awful tryptophobia holes appearing in my skin, pouring disgusting, nasty, grody worms out.
Oh gosh.
I'm going to take my waters, like my wineskin, and pour some water on one of the worms and see if that stops it from crisping and burning up.
It doesn't.
Damn.
I just have to say this. I thought worms only crawled in after you died.
It's weird.
I'm not awake though. So that was a voice
It's
beyond.
you can make me let's say cult check. So I know you can use your other thing. It's a recall.
Yeah.
Well, they're not normal worms. Don't know if that's better or worse.
Okay. Oof, not great.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. You're not quite sure, but it's like maybe they just can't live it, for very long if they're outside of people. But again, like you're not sure, just because it's very odd what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that the rain caused this. I didn't know weather would affect things in that manner.
Seems like anything natural is hostile to life. Any idea when it'll pass, or we just have to wait
When
it
the rain
out?
passes?
Yeah. They look out a window.
When
see
the,
if,
when the storm stops,
Yeah.
like there is no like you look out like a broken open window that like has like some shards of glass still there. No, it's still raining. It's still wet out. Still pouring. Like it is like they're puddling up around the area. Certainly speaking, like you can see, you'll begin to notice that like in the rain, the twisted vines and plants are actually like moving around more. Maybe readjusting. Switching spots.
This place gets worse every second we're here.
Umbrin, with a start, you will wake up. Just like all of a sudden sit up, and you will just see like Umbrin shocked sit up because he's been kind of like I guess laid across the back end of the cart. As then like for a second it looks as though Umbrin's eyes are jet black before they return to the normal kind of black eyes they are anyway.
Oh, good.
There's a fetch.
You're awake.
I didn't realize your eyes could get blacker.
Good news and bad news.
Yeah, same here.
Do you want to do yours first? Oh no.
Where the freak are we?
Swamp
hell.
Gardens.
Yeah, that.
That's not good.
Nope.
No. And it only gets worse. If you would kindly direct your attention to the broken window, it's raining evil.
Let me try something here, because I saw Talas has, no, okay. I just want to see something here, because he also has cultism.
Oh, yeah.
He actually has a trait, too. Anyway. But it just looked like it's heavily raining outside. Yeah, Umbrin, you're in some kind of dilapidated building somewhere. There's like a weird plant that's pulsating in the back corner. You think another vine just sprouts out of it all of a sudden.
Also, don't go outside right now. It's raining flesh-eating worms.
What's that vine over there?
Flesh-eating vine.
Yeah. Best.
Just assume everything you see wants to eat our flesh.
He's not
I
wrong.
think I talked to the Dreadlord.
What do you mean by that?
After I moved the portal, I believe I talked to the Dreadlord.
I want to like go up, like one hand, like spread your eyelid. Can I determine if Umbrin is high, GM?
Medicine check?
Of course. My medicine is
Super great, I'm sure.
bad. Nope.
Could you please take your hand off me?
I'm just
Well,
determining
that's
something.
not a bad check.
Oh, could I justify alchemy? Crafting. I've taken my fair share of hallucinogenics.
I'd say probably not, but it does, like... You don't see any obvious signs that, like, Umbrin is, like, messed up mentally, or maybe he's taken something. Maybe he hit his head, that's most you can say. I mean, he did, like, move a strange eldritch portal from one spot to another. You really don't know what that does to a person.
Yeah, but I'm also not huge on magic.
Also, I talk to your master's killer, Ixbanor.
Okay. Did you kill him?
Yeah.
Did you stab him?
Did you kill him?
I was in a weird realm. No.
Unfortunate.
He left a message for you, though. Right before I woke up. That if you want,
Okay.
you could become his pet.
What? Is there any more bad news we're gonna spread around today?
Well, on the good news side, well, there is one more piece of bad news. Our town is fucked,
Oh, phenomenal. Wait, like...
and there's no stopping it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could have told you that.
Good news is he's not going to interfere with us directly. And I brought up a possibility of peace, and he did not shoot it down.
I'm sorry. You brought up the possibility of peace with the Dreadlord?
Yes.
I'm failing to see the logic here.
I think he might be he's definitely not mortal. He might be more akin to the gods that are dead. If there's a way to negotiate, that might be more successful than trying to defeat something that can't die. Or at least not easily.
Well, he has theoretically been killed once or twice.
Theoretically?
Well, he's always come back, so
From
thus,
my
theoretically.
study, from my religious studies, I believe that might have been an avatar. Basically something he controls that's
Like, you
directly
think-
on our realm.
Like, you think he's a god?
That's what I just said. I think he is more akin to the gods that are dead than to anything that's alive right now. If not if not an actual god, the next closest thing to it.
Okay. So... what? How do we stop that?
We
Do
don't.
we find is there a god that you know about
What
that
do
we
you
can
mean,
use to
how
stop
do
him?
we- What? What do you mean, how do we stop that? We
I'm
don't.
He did tell me to look for certain things. I thought I put notes on my sheet. I remember putting notes on my sheet. They are not there.
Interesting. Well,
Sometimes you have to click,
give me 2
save
seconds.
probably.
Perhaps you can make a better choice. You still have hope. The city fell. We cannot be changed. Somebody able to... I was typing pretty much just everything that was being said.
Oh.
If you want to copy that and send it to me, that'd be lovely.
Sure.
Because I did make notes and stuff, and yeah.
I find that sometimes when I
seconds.
type stuff into character sheets, it just randomly deletes. and
There
I'm
you
never
go.
sure why.
That's my little...
Thank you. Because I'm like, that's not good. I need to know that
Yeah, but
information.
I think what you're looking for though is seek the fire of the sky, the eternal flame, the burner of suns, and the devourer, and the delver of the earth, the earth lord, the burner of worlds.
But yeah, going back to
So,
you can't
yeah.
just fight it. That's not something that we should be dealing with. That's more like big picture stuff.
Well,
Hey,
he
Ixbanor.
tasked me with this.
You can also get a recall knowledge check because, hey, guess what? You use your Arcana and place of it, and you are able to make that check.
Woo! This is honestly one of my favorite feats.
Let's go.
It does mean that, like, anytime a recall knowledge check is okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, you're not familiar with either of those as concepts, but it doesn't mean they didn't exist. I'll tell you this much: you do know that the history of things on the gods and the divine side of things is not that old overall. Like, the gods were said to have died maybe only a few centuries before the great sealing of the South. So maybe 15,000 years ago. So what was before then really has been lost to time, unfortunately. Like, why the gods died, no one really found out. No one really knows. There might be more details that are lost in various paperwork or texts, but yeah. So, you do know enough that it might be the other gods lost.
Yeah. There's also always the theory that the gods never truly died. Instead, they're somewhere.
Nah, I'm pretty sure they're dead.
I mean, the fact that there still are clerics who can get some power makes me think they're not all dead. That's my personal theory, though.
I mean, they could be relying off the random vestiges of whatever divine scraps are still laying about, regardless.
Why is Talas making rolls?
Oh no.
Well, I have him selected, but that is appropriate. Because he actually was making rolls. I was just making rolls, and I forgot I had him selected. But he was making rolls. Anyway.
And as for
Don't
you,
mean-
like...
I don't mean to interrupt, but I see something strange.
What?
That vine isn't getting any closer. It's trying to, but it keeps stopping.
So there's
Is
a
the bird
limit.
in the way? No, I'm serious. Is like the bird in between us and the vine? Maybe...
Oh, it's like he's protecting
Talos,
us.
you're still probably sitting on the bird's cage as it's got this weird kind of purple glow, and Talos is right next to you.
Oh, if I'm sitting on the bird's cage, I'm getting the hell away from that thing and standing.
Yeah.
The nightmare.
I now just picture of like, it's like, as the bird in the way, you look down, whoa!
Is it look like it's being stopped by something, or it's just it'll hover around for a bit and then try and move forward, but it just can't?
You could make an occult check.
I'll make an occult check. Now that I'm actually awake.
Mm-hmm.
My occultism's bad. I really should have taken training in occultism, but I chose Arcana.
Well, I have plus 11, so.
That's a pretty good
That's fair.
roll. Okay.
And
As
training
two of you kind of
probably
like
saves me on those
watch,
things.
he doesn't like the purple.
I'm gonna.
The bird is doing something. The thing is, it doesn't stop it directly, but it kind of like impacts it for a second and it almost kind of draws itself off. It's more, probably not like deadly, but maybe like whatever this purple aura the bird's giving out might be unpleasant to the horrible flesh vines. It's not a very big aura though.
Yeah.
Maybe we should cluster around the bird for protection.
I know. Okay, now I picture, is the bird doing something? Whoa! And then you like look over, look down, step closer.
It's like, well, this is not what I want, but
It might grant us a brief reprieve from the flora issue.
Calder, you'll realize maybe that's why the horrific worms actually died once they were out of your bodies. Whether or not the aura got it out of your body, you don't know. But you're pretty sure that because they couldn't escape, probably, being in a very unpleasant aura for a long period of time, or they're probably pretty weak, you kill them.
Right. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should keep the bird around close.
Yeah.
From now on. At least until we get out of this place.
have you looked around for materials that could maybe shield us from the rain?
Gonna look around this dilapidated building. The basement's flooded, so not much I can do down there.
The upstairs is gone. The entire upstairs has been torn away almost, even looks like.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be a lot of good cloth. Certainly, you could maybe make something wooden, but it'd be heavy.
Yeah. So that would
Attach
slow
it to
us
the
down
cart.
even more.
The cart
That
cart doesn't
flux
work
legs,
very well.
brother.
Yeah, I know.
That cart's struggling.
Yeah. We definitely need to find some
Talas,
metal.
invent the Ford F-150, please.
We definitely need to
He'll just write F 150 on the side of the bird's card.
It's genius. It's genius.
It transforms now.
I could throw something together, but it's going to slow us down, and it's not going to be too terribly effective.
Talas, you're an orc. Just believe that it goes fast.
What?
If we paint ourselves purple.
That's a Warhammer joke.
I know, but he doesn't know.
If we paint ourselves purple,
that's
can
why
we
I
hide
didn't
from the
even say
Dracovin?
I didn't even say that in my character voice. That was
I'm
me
sure.
just memeing.
Ixbanor, what's Warhammer 40k? Have you played Battle Mace 42 million, Ixbanor?
Well, also, I feel pain. You guys don't look great.
Yeah.
Here, why don't I pull out my staff.
There do seem to be, like, on your arms and, like, various points on you, Umbrin. There does seem to be these kind of, like, really weird red welts that are kind of, like, painful.
Lovely.
You don't know where they came. They were wormholes. You didn't know about them.
Just,
You were unconscious.
Ignore
Well,
those. We all have those
I'm
now,
gonna
except
heal
Talas.
us a little bit.
Talas is looking phenomenal.
Very tough.
Very tough.
Oh, and +1 because I'm using the staff, so everyone heals 6.
That's not bad. So shift click heal, add 1, click OK. Nice. That gets me up to full. That undoes the all the drain damage. That's great.
Oh, cool. If you select
That
both,
didn't
it works
undo
on
all
both.
my drain damage.
No. Did you? Oh, you did heal from it. Wait, did you heal from it?
I typed it in. I forgot to. I always forget about the thing, but I typed it in
Were you?
because I was at 53 out of 63.
Oh, hold on. Did you accidentally right-click again? I did the same thing where I clicked it.
I
if you
think I did do that twice.
Yes,
That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, so
'Cause
I
five-
should actually
Yep.
be full.
Yeah,
Because
you should all
I
be
just
full.
realized that too. Because like, yeah, wait, we're level 5. 5 should heal us all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. We're all feeling better.
Could I?
The bird will lift its head, kind of turn towards you, open its mouth, which now will be kind of glowing purple,
I'm gonna
and
hold the
it will,
hammer up.
like, scream? Except it's kind of a silent scream that sounds like it's echoing through the universe into your soul, and it will close its mouth, and then its light puts its head back down.
Alright. You save yourself this
thought.
time.
Do we want to heal the bird? We might want to be careful of that.
No. The less time it spends conscious, the better.
No, my point though is that I'm wondering if it's now running off void energy, or something.
Well, that would harm it, no? I'm not too well versed on that finger wavy stuff.
I
But-
could make an occult check. I
Can
don't
I make a
know.
medicine check? Can I make a medicine check to see if that?
Sure,
like, that
I can see
healing
both of
burst
these.
hurt it?
I'll take both of these. Medicine and
Okay.
for different person.
Different things.
Alright, decent roll. Pretty good.
Okay, for the medicine check, you don't think it's harmed more, but again, like, you only see its head, and the rest of its body is encased in, like, resin. So, like, it didn't seem any worse, but also, like, I don't know, something's really wrong with it. As for your occult check, you're like, something is really odd with this bird. You're not sure
You don't.
if
say.
it's related to the portal or where you're at. Like, but something with the bird is reacting now, at very least. Like, it was a alchemically constructed magical beast, so
Yeah.
you don't know. It's had some kind of reaction. But
Yeah,
to the,
I don't know
what
if
source?
it's the area or the portal that's causing it to do this, but
Well,
It
I
does
guess
seem to
don't
be-
look a gift bird in the mouth.
I'm gonna be going around and just tearing up whatever I can, like cabinets, old furniture, loose floorboards with my like crowbar and hammer, and just gather as much raw material as possible.
Cool. You can find a couple of things, some pieces of wood, other materials. All of it's not in great shape, but definitely usable for you to make something.
You can reinforce the cart.
It's the workshop. I think the cart's done for. I'm more worried about the hell nightmare bastard rain that's giving us worms. Give me a while and I'll see if I can throw a small portable cover together. It's not going to be comfortable, but you know, it's either that or evil rain.
Alright.
We kind of just need a few umbrellas to help, you know? Like, even, like, wooden things would be probably not too bad.
Craft check, put something together.
I can help.
If you would like to roll aid, please.
Yeah,
Even that's not working on the umbrellas.
Oh, I'll give you, guidance.
I'm immune to guidance, I'm afraid. Oh, wait, no, we slept. That's right.
Yeah. And it's only for, it's not,
for 10
it's
minutes.
only for like, yeah.
It's an hour.
Or it's an hour,
Oh, is
but
it an
it
hour?
still
Yeah,
hasn't
so-
been that long.
But yeah, no, it's been 24. So
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, I was considering umbrellas, and I was like, man, if I had some like cloth or some tarp.
There really isn't a lot of nice pieces of cloth left over, is there?
Yeah, I think it's all just like moldy wood.
That's my aid check, so that's not a critical, but so it is probably just gonna give you that +1.
But +1 is better than nothing.
But I also give you a +1. So.
Yep.
Although,
Because-
are they both circumstance? I think they both.
No, guidance is a status.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it
And
is.
then I
That's
get
nice.
an item bonus from my crafter's eyepiece. So I'm at a +15. I'm going to
Oh,
hero
God.
point that real quick. Just gonna hero point that because I'm not taking that. I would like to leave this place expeditiously.
That's
Alright.
Slightly better.
Slightly better. You will be able to put together something. I'll tell you, you might still have to make some checks, but certainly speaking, it won't be as bad as it was.
That's good. As long as we can keep the majority of the rain off of us. So.
And we're trying to stay as close to the bird as possible.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the way I have it set up is it's 4 rods that like come off the sides of the cart and go up and just hold like a big bunch of like makeshift planks like nailed together. So we all have to stay relatively close, but most of the lifting is done by the cart. It's just me and Talas are going to be pushing it most of the way.
Yeah.
Well, I can help too, because I have a strength 2.
That's fair.
Cart is much heavier, and it certainly doesn't push as well at all.
Yeah.
It is much slower, and also now, as you are beginning to kind of head out into the rain once more, you can see that there are now large puddles, portions of the path which are now flooded. Probably is normal in this place, a lot of flooding. You get the feeling of that. Unfortunately, it doesn't help you very much, but you can try to navigate around it as best you can.
I can make a survival.
That would help. Survival would be great and wonderful. See how well you do.
Come on, +11.
20's okay. It's fine. So, you'll try to kind of make your way through the rain and muck and stuff like that, and avoid the many, many dangers. It's going to be time-consuming, and the rain will go on for probably maybe an hour and a half. It's hard to tell as it just keeps going, and you are kind of like doing your best to navigate this place, but it's wandering and winding through it. But eventually, you will basically make your way to what looks to be was once a square of some kind, maybe that once was quite beautiful. In the center of it is what would have been like this incredibly beautiful tree, which is now this sprout of tentacled vines that seem to be kind of reaching out in the sky in the center of this kind of thing. Like a mass of them, each of these vines a foot thick, kind of writhing around in the rain and stuff like that, with the area around it just flooded in the center of this kind of square, where you can see the building that was the, we'll say, Herbalist Academy, is across from you now. You are close to the horrible vine monstrosity in the center of here.
I don't want to have to go near it. I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that.
I've let up a little bit. We'll
Oh,
quiet it down. It's not much more of a steady rain rather than a heavy rain.
I'm going to be keeping an eye out as we're going and moving along for that, for any potential libraries or apothecaries.
I'm keeping my eyes peeled as well.
Yeah, so you said it was like an herbal academy?
Yes.
It would have been like alchemical herbalist.
Okay.
Because, like, there isn't, like, magical, like it was back in your home country here in Sweden.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Probably some people that use some, like, primeval magic a lot of times might be the specialty of the people here.
Yep.
With a little bit of, like, arcana, arcane, and occult.
But just keep moving along.
You're making the perception checks.
Of course.
Sure. Perception.
I should really level wisdom one of these days.
All these Talas.
Alright. So, Umbrin. You'll basically, as you kind of approach the edge of here, you'll stop everybody. Something here in the shadows, you're noticing it. Figures. They are strange. They're almost kind of like stalking the shadows at the edges of this place. They don't seem to have reacted to you. Maybe they don't notice you yet. But you do get sight of what they look like. They look like strangely... The best way to describe it is mutants, but mutant goblins. Something seems wrong with them. Something unusual, unnatural. Like their bodies are malformed, horrifically changed.
That's not good. I'll point it out to the group, and can I try to make an occultism on them? Or arcana, or
Sure.
occultism. Let's see.
Alright, 21's okay. You're not exactly sure what's going on with them, but they do seem like they're guarding this area. Maybe they're connected with the plants or the mutations or something like that. But, yeah, they aren't looking anything akin to normal. And each of them is, like, strangely mutated in other ways, with, like, spikes and, like, growths coming out of them in various places. Like, an arm that's slightly larger than the other, you know, an extra eye on one of their foreheads, things like that.
I don't know how much of we want to get into a fight when it's still raining.
I'm not particularly keen. Let's.
I mean, if we want to start something, I could try fireballing a bunch of them.
I'd rather wait until they make themselves a threat. No need to introduce unnecessary failure points in our.
Oh, they seem to be
You counted about half dozen.
They're guarding the. Are they guarding the building that we're trying to get to?
They're kind of guarding this square. I would describe it.
Okay, they're
Well-
staring at us as we're approaching the square, guys.
They haven't seen you notice it.
Oh,
But they're just kind of like
Yeah.
around, like they're
yeah.
existing near it.
Okay.
Do they look
And-
strong? Like, do they look on the level of those Flesh Forged we fought?
Certainly not.
Okay.
The Flesh Forge, at very least, were like built with a purpose. These don't seem that way.
Can I?
I'll basically say, like, you don't know whether it's that, you know, they know they're making experiments. Maybe these were some kind of experiment. Or maybe goblins react to the curse like the other natural things, unlike other human things.
Yeah.
Either's a possibility.
Could
I kind of thought they would. I still think it was more likely they would.
Yeah. Could I try to recall knowledge here to determine what type of creature this might be?
The giant plant monster in the center, or the goblins?
The goblins, if they're like, I think they might be aberrations. I don't know if they're like just normal goblins with some slight modifications.
They're like an aberration form of a goblin, so it's basically like a goblin with slight variations, kind of thing.
A gobbleration.
Yeah.
So not too terrible. Alright. We could try something. If you want to toss it out, try and litmus test.
Well, one, how close are they? Are they in a group or are they spread out?
Spread out. But, like,
Hmm.
honestly speaking, it's kind of like the thing is, if you would engage with them, you might also get the giant horrific plant bundle in the center of this thing. This area. Granted, it doesn't necessarily have the most range, but it's got some.
Yeah. Could be playing keep away with a giant plant most of the time.
It also might not like the bird.
Yeah, true. Doesn't mean it
Well-
would just attack the bird outright. This one seems bigger, stronger. Than the
Do
other
we
one.
want to take our break here before
We make
we
a decision?
potentially get into a fight?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because this might determine
Sure.
if things go very, very poorly for us.
Mhm.
Also, my dog's wanted to go outside, so.
Alright,
that's
then we'll
fair.
take it. We'll take a quick break then. So, give me a snack, drink, or bathroom break.
Groovy.
I'll be back. Back. Break. Final. Buttons here that have us return to stuff. Oh, I have something here with the costume. That's also good. Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
That me or
What?
was
That was the music.
crackling?
Yeah, there's a
Oh, the crackling sound is the music.
Yeah,
That's
it
part
is.
of the music,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm bumping
Okay.
with it.
I got
This is
very
actually-
concerned for a
This is
second.
actually kind of tough.
Well, we could try the stealth.
Personally,
Yeah, it's like, where's that crackling noise coming from?
Yes.
he said there's half a dozen, plus the big thing. I don't know if stealth is an option.
The big thing, you're honestly not sure how difficult that would be to fix. You know. But it is a plant creature, so it's probably anchored, generally speaking.
Yeah, we just have to worry about its natural, like, reach.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's no reason to not try stealth first, I suppose. And then if things go awry, we just resort to violence.
Okay.
75.
My dog agrees, apparently.
So we're doing some
75%.
following expert. It's a +2 bonus. So Ixbanor is going to try to lead the team with a +2 bonus.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Well, no, it's they get their level +2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, level +2.
So
so
all of our
really
stealths are
good.
slightly better.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those people that didn't have
Actually-
anything have something now.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what
it
that-
only gave me a +2 when I added it to my sheet, so.
Oh no.
But I'm trained in stealth.
Oh, okay. Oh, fine then.
I guess, people want to give some stealth checks and see what we have. We'll kind of go for group average here, we'll say, for this one.
That is not a good start.
And do remember, two of you still have, technically 2 of you still have hero points, so I guess technically Talas also has one.
I used up mine.
Talas shouldn't, because he's technically an NPC, but if
Yeah.
you let him, it's good.
Roll
30.
pretty well.
Okay, I'm re-rolling. I'm re-rolling then. I'm using my
Okay.
hero point to re-roll because I don't want to be the
Follow
one who
the
gets seen.
expert who gets the blowers.
There we go.
You were throwing off the average by a lot.
Yeah.
Do what I'm doing. No.
I will be increasing stealth later on, so if we have to do this again, I think I'll be a better shot.
I start leading you guys, forgetting you guys are bigger than me, and then I realize, oh wait, I need to correct this.
Alright, let me roll.
You're like
a
scurrying on the ground. It's like, we can't do
Yeah.
that.
Alright,
Roll, roll.
and
Oh wow!
Uh-oh.
Decent.
one big roll decent. But nonetheless, I was taking more of a group average. So even though Umbrin is technically below a 21, the others being very quiet might help him. But I'm also going to roll one more d20.
For the plant.
Alright. So you're going to try to, I guess... I'm guessing what you're going to do is have those of you with a level of strength, I guess, lift the giant thing that you're taking with you? I can only assume
Wait,
Yeah.
what are we
the bird
Like-
box.
The bird box, I mean, yeah.
Take
Oh,
one
yeah.
side.
We have to sneak with that.
I can take
too.
one side, and Talas can take the other side.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a 2 strength too, so.
I'm decently strong. I got a 3.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you, even applying a penalty, your average was 25, which is a pretty
Oh,
good roll. So, like, if I were to give you, like, a penalty of, like, 2 or 3, the highest one would not get you. Fortunately. So basically you make your way, and kind of, like, make your way through this area, kind of maneuvering around here, kind of carrying this box, trying to be quiet, with Ixbanor kind of leading the way, kind of, like, pointing out things that would make a lot of noise. You get pretty close to one of these things, and you can kind of hear this kind of, like, strange, wheezed breath that it has. There's kind of like this kind of, like, little kind of growls and, like, murmurs. None of it is very intelligent sounding, or it sounds almost bestial, one of these creatures, as you kind of, like, sneak by it. You can hear its teeth chattering, but you will actually able to maneuver your way to the building for now. And get inside without anything,
Yay.
Oh,
Mhm.
I didn't want to fight in the rain.
Yeah, it would have been very bad.
Alright. You are in a building which is a kind of squat tower. Probably the second largest building in town, as you can kind of tell. The largest one being the large government building where the council would meet. This building here being this kind of squat, roundish stone building, that kind of goes up like 3 or 4 floors. So it's even then it's not particularly huge. When I say towering over the rest of the buildings, most buildings here are like 2-story. So, you know, barely 2-story.
Yeah.
Anyway, the front doors are just gone. They don't exist. The entire place is kind of wet, moist feeling, but you see no signs of any kind of like life inside, except for like little bits of like mold and mildew that seems to be kind of growing into the entire area.
Not moist.
Yeah, everything feels unpleasantly moist.
That's what she said?
Let's go!
Okay, I guess we enter the building.
Yeah. What do you want to do when you're in here?
First, just drop the bird.
Well, not drop.
Yeah, but I'm not carrying that thing forever.
No, but
It
we don't want
was
to drop it.
unpleasantly hefty.
Yeah.
Well,
And
the
then-
thing is, if we have to get to another floor, we're going to have to...
Pick it back up again.
It would be
Yeah.
stairs.
Yeah, it's not going to just be like a... they're not going to have a spiral ramp.
We can't lead it up. This place isn't handicap accessible. Alright, fine. The
What
Dreadlord
do
is
you think
evil.
about the like front door, which is like missing?
Is there a bookshelf?
It's gonna be. You're just gonna scrape it across the ground.
Gotta
might be
undo all
some
that
kind of,
work
like-
we just did.
Desk in an open area here? Because this is like an entryway. There might be like a desk in here that's mostly in
So-
one piece.
So we're in that apothecary-like building, right?
I wouldn't describe it necessarily as an apothecary-like building. It's a school. But it's a
Yeah,
school
yeah,
for
sorry.
alchemists and herbalists. So,
I-
you know,
I
it's
meant.
probably like...
Sorry, I meant herbalist building, not
Yeah.
apothecary.
Yeah. You're like,
It
the herb-
smells like teen spirit.
Is it one big building, or are there like multiple rooms? Is it constructed like a library
It
would be?
looks like one large stone building. Like I would describe the size of it as like half a block, like around. It looked like. So pretty decent size, like 3 or 4 buildings wide. So it's kind of like a stout thing, though, too. Again, like it's like a large, stout stone building. Which, again, most of the buildings here don't use a lot of stone either.
Yeah.
I'm going to check out the desk and see if there's anything still in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go off and look for shelves and kind of do the same.
Kind of take a look around. This area seems fairly, like, just abandoned. Like, the desk itself, there doesn't seem to be anything worthy of it. Seems like just a simple desk for maybe checking in or checking with people that would come into the place. This entry hall. Otherwise, no, it's quiet.
Did
the
Talas
entry
and I lift it up and, like, stand up to block the view in the doorway at least a little bit?
Sure. You can, generally speaking, make it block most of the doorway. It's not going to be perfect. If something really wants to come in, it...
Well, it's more so also, you know, things don't see us moving around in here.
There seems to be 3 main ways outside of this entry hall, plus a set of staircases that lead upwards to the second floor. It looks as though the staircase here leads up at least, like you can see, because of the big vaulted entry chamber, it leads to the first 3 floors. The 4th floor doesn't seem to be accessible from this main entry hall. And you're not sure how many exits are on any of the upper floors, but there's like a large set of double doors that would be going deeper into the building in front of you, and some smaller side doors that lead off in different directions too, to your left and right.
I guess we have to kind of search around.
Fair enough.
We
I'm
might
gonna-
want to stick together.
That's a very interesting proposal. Counterpoint, and I walk away and I start looking for stuff.
Okay, if you run into trouble.
Yeah, there's gonna be a piranha plant drop from the ceiling and eat me.
Or a vine growing into the building.
Yeah. Horrible nightmare abominations.
Okay. I will need, I guess. Let me check with everybody who's going to search them. You can either give me perception's a very easy one. If you want to use perception, I'll also use. I guess cultism. Is it primal? It's just primal. The skill also.
Primal. No, it's nature.
That's like nature.
That's nature.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. My brain broke that it was nature.
I have
guess,
nature, occultism, and wisdom, and I have my best is perception.
Yeah.
I'll take any of those of your choice. The nature, occultism, arcana would probably be fine. I mean, it's good or perception. I'll give you relevant information to check you're looking for. I assume what you're doing is searching around the place.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably just perceive at first, and if there's something I see, then I could.
Yeah.
I might switch over, but.
Oh, perception.
Okay.
Alright.
They're damn good. 7 from Umbrin.
Nice. Pretty good.
19
That great for me.
I'm guessing Talas is just gonna watch Bird then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
That's
him.
3 if you wander off. Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna
come back and Talas is gone. Bird ate
I
him.
will need a D4 roll from each of you.
D4. Gotcha.
Mhm.
1.
Okay.
3.
You will miss one still. And a 4. Okay, cool.
Oh well, sorry. That was clicked on a Talas.
All different numbers.
Alright, so, Calder, I need you to make me a reflex save.
Groovy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a shotgun?
Alright,
I do.
pretty good roll. A 30 will be very good roll, actually. So while you're going along and exploring, we'll start with you and we'll describe what you find also. So you'll kind of wander around and you'll discover a number of classrooms and places, but you'll also be able to discover there does seem to be a central area of the tower. It seems as though the entire center of the tower is actually hollowed out, and it was a gigantic garden in the middle. Hey, kind of makes sense for an alchemical herbalist place to have so it's basically rather than a single stout area, it's like a big ring building. Anyway,
There's a courtyard.
It's a large central courtyard. You'll be able to dodge out of the way of some kind of horrific plant that will shoot thorns at you, and it'll basically cover this area of a wall. These thorns, and you'll be able to that are they're not just thorns; they're 3-inch thick or long thorns that are getting stuck in stuff. That are getting stuck in some of the wood. You're
It
holy
shoots arrows at you.
It basically shoots arrows at you. But you will be able to avoid your encounter with the horrific spike monster. This kind of plant that just seems to be launching them off. And be able to avoid that. But you'll be able to discover there is the basic courtyard in the center, a lot of classrooms in the first floor, things like that. Including a number of alchemical labs. There's a little bit more I want to do, but I'll wait until anybody else is done. Gives this information. Umbrin, you had a 3. So I need to roll something. Hang on. Let's just roll a d20. Alright, so, that is a really horrific roll. So, for you, as you open a door, vines will burst out trying to grasp into you, but you'll manage to dodge back and avoid them and close up the door behind you again for this one room you're trying to find.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see a lot of the same things that Calder's basically seeing, too. Two of you looking around. I'm guessing you maybe we'll say, you took another floor. It does seem like the second floor is more classrooms. Ixbanor. So for you, I will require...
Oh, I'm gonna put I have chalk. I'm gonna put a, X on the door to mark that. Don't open this.
Evil door.
Bad door. Bad door.
We got a dead door over here.
Ixbanor, I need you to give me a fortitude save. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. I have a fine check for these, but I always roll terrible.
I believe in you.
Oh,
Thank you
that
for
is
your
a
belief.
heck of a roll. So, you'll manage to wander in an area, and all of a sudden, a puff of, spores and gas will come from the plants in this area. But you'll manage to, hit the ground and avoid it. So you will avoid any effects of the poisonous area that you accidentally wandered into. So the third floor is actually a bunch of, it looks like, probably teachers' offices and such. And also, some smaller areas that might be related to various activities for students and things like that. So along the way, you will basically find very little in this place. Most of it is abandoned. It's actually relatively well shaped for a lot of the rest of the city. It seems as though the outer stone walls are relatively well protected. But you will be able to combine, basically discover, and your Arcana check is really good much. So, extra, Ixbanor. Sorry.
I didn't think so. It was pretty bad, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
And probably less relevant.
Anyway, you will be able to discover that there is a below floor area, for one thing. And up on the fourth floor, it seems to have things such as a large library, a massive specialty lab that seems to be set for the teachers, perhaps, not students. And it also the brain work headmaster's chambers. The word headmaster didn't come to me to get to work in my brain there for a second. So.
Wait. I have a thing. Okay. I'm gonna roll this. I think this would be a much better thing to roll. Academia lore. Can I figure out where they might put the portal in a school?
If the portal was here, you're guessing the portal back in your home country, probably in the basement.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's a lower area, that's the only area you probably haven't explored completely. And even upstairs, you just basically kind of found stuff around. So, there is a pretty decent alchemical lab, probably one of the best ones you've seen in a while, in pretty decent shape, and of course the large set of library and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's formulas in those books.
Actually, that is a good point. Can I search for formulas?
You wish to take the time to do it, let me know. It would be time-consuming to do any kind of searching through the actual books. The books themselves are not in terrible condition. It seems like being this high up has kept them in a decent shape. But they're also not in the best condition either. There's a lot of moisture in the air, and it seems as though perhaps whatever actions or magics to protect them are not existing anymore. Granted, fortunately, it's perhaps only been a few years of being exposed to elements. It hasn't been that long. Because you're not too sure when the magic faded either.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Ixbanor would definitely start to ignore things and start to look through the books.
They have a pretty extensive... Their library would have a lot of information on pretty much most of the plants and plant discoveries and various herbal concoctions that can be made from what is in the historical books. honestly speaking, you can probably find most common level 1 alchemical formulas. I'd say from like levels 1 to 3, you probably can find very easily.
Okay.
But they probably don't have many alchemical formulas beyond that in just the lineup.
Okay.
So that's,
I mean-
where we are on the room.
Okay. Well, I probably would start to copy them. Basically, everyone else search. I'll, come get me when you're done. I'll start copying down formulas and stuff.
How long does that?
Actually, that's a good question. Let me actually check. I want to say an hour per formula, but
I mean, you could just take the books for now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is an item per formula.
yeah. Let's see. Equipment.
And oh, actually, no, I'm thinking of a different thing. Sorry.
You have a form where you can craft a copy of it using the crafting skill. Okay.
Oh, so it's similar to transcribing spells. There's usually a check involved.
Oh, yeah.
So it's usually a level-based DC contesting the level of the formula. Which I have my level-based DC thing bookmarked.
I'm
Which
just
for
trying
level
to figure out
1
how long
is
it
like
takes.
level 50. Oh, an hour per formula.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Yeah, you can copy a formula in an hour. So I was right about an hour.
Yes. So 1 hour per formula at generally a DC 15 if it's a common level 1 formula.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can always take the books. I don't think we have hours to spend.
Unfortunately, no. We don't.
Okay. Then I will be shoving books into my bag of holding.
Okay.
How much does a book weigh?
Usually it's light, negligible to light.
So for me, light to 1.
Yeah. Because
I'm tiny.
because the formula book item is light bulk.
Because how much bulk can your back holding hold?
Up to 50, but I definitely already have stuff. Let me see how much I have left.
Do you have a Type 2 spacious pouch?
No, I have a type. Sorry, I should clarify. I have a type 1 for a medium creature, so for me, it's double the amount of space. Because I size everything. Because if I put medium things into it, like that's the thing. So it's a medium bag of holding, so it can hold more compared to me.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's 50, but a book would be 1 for me instead of light. You know.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I have 20. Basically less than 25 capacity left. About
So
24,
effectively, you
or
could
22.
grab like 25 books. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
And then be absolutely maxed out.
Yeah. So if you want 20, we could say from levels 1 to 3, grab 25 formulas. If you want to find a specific list, go ahead, or you can say you just grab a bunch of random ones and we can figure it out later.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So you'll have quite a collection of formulas. We'll figure it out. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'll look at them when I have time. It'll be late.
You're welcome for giving you the idea.
I had that idea. I just didn't want to take up my bag space. But then you made a point about time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I meant of looking for formulas in the library. Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like, all sorts of bad stuff can happen here. We don't want to linger too long.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to do on this floor? As I said, there is the headmaster's office and the alchemical too. As for the books, yeah, the formula books are here, and again, it's a lot of stuff on herbalism and stuff like that. If you want to research a certain topic too. It'd probably take you about an hour per check, I would say, also, to give some research and look into it. You would have a -1 to any checks in here because the books aren't in perfect condition.
Yeah, I'm not going to even...
Yeah, basically,
I mean,
I'll be
I could
spending
do
my time...
nature checks, but it's not really that useful.
Instead of researching, I'm going to be taking my time to get the books in the best condition.
So,
I guess... Did you come back down and tell us?
this was all of you searching, you found out about it, we'll say. So you're all...
Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
I
and
guess
then you guys
I'll go
probably are like,
check out
okay,
the
let's
head-
go find something else, and then you notice
It's sort of like,
anymore.
I'll say
Yeah.
what kind of happened was you all basically checked out the floor, and then you kind of reconvened.
Gotcha.
And like, Ixbanor's like, I did see some stairs that led up to the 4th floor, and then you all checked out the 4th floor.
Okay. I'll go check out the dean's office then.
Alright. The dean's office is torn apart. By torn apart, I mean is the entire back wall of the building is missing. The room is in shackles and shambles, but you can see this incredible sight over the lake. And of course, far off in the distance across the lake is an odd structure. A massive spiraling black tower that seems to reach into the sky.
That's probably where we would have came out at.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I guess there's no point. Well, I could search the dean's office to see if there's still anything left.
Sure.
I'll look around.
Maybe perception check. Let's see what you can find. Alright, you take a wrap around the dean's office. Seems like a lot of stuff was destroyed here, but there is a few bits of stuff, things left over. Like, you can find, again, the desk is mostly shattered, but, like, you can find, like, a piece of desk that we kind of move out of the way. It looks like it protected some of the stuff in there, even from the weather of the outside. It looks like some various notes on the dean about maybe evacuation. It seems as though you get the feeling from the stuff written down here that it looks as though there was even a note left behind that seems as though the dean ran away without working on the evacuation very much.
Yikes.
Headmaster wasn't great. Abandoned everybody. There was a note of sorry, I took my stuff. Good luck. Along with some notes that people gave about was sent him to be here's some stuff to do, prepare to evacuate.
Jesus.
What an asshole.
Can we determine a name and potentially look for it?
Hunt him down like the dog he is.
You could perhaps find out information about who this headmaster was. But, yes. Where they went...
I mean,
There
there's only
is.
one place for him to go.
There is information about the teleportation circle and
I was
disabling
going to
it.
ask about that.
And
Yes.
it does seem as having a similar set of orders to how Ixbanor described the sabotage and zonation.
Is it in the basement?
Yes. Here at the
Yay!
college. It turns out a giant stone structure is a great place to hide some of those things, put some of those things, and a
Yeah.
place based on magic.
Oh, at least we definitely know we're in the right place.
It does seem to be that the plan was to break the circle from the network, sabotage it, and then lock it up. If enough times, there was also hope to collapse the passage, but that was if enough times.
So it was what? Sabotage it and then...
Removed from the network, which involves basically destroying a special crystal that tuned all the circles to each other.
Okay.
And then sabotage the circle. And then lock up, seal it up.
It's going to be sealed in some fashion.
And again, if time sabotage the tunnel that leads to it.
Hopefully
just in case.
not.
But that you get the feeling from the one document here that probably would have been very difficult to do, so it wasn't expected of whoever was here. Also, you don't know how successful they were at this entire thing, judging that, the dean maybe partially ignored some of these orders and left.
Yeah, and just ran away, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does seem
It
the
might
note
be
was
best
left
for
in
us that
one of
happened.
these drawers.
Yeah, okay. We need to search around for that crystal. It's possible they just took it out rather than destroying it. If we can get that, we can head right back home.
It's a bit of a long shot, but no reason not to try, I guess.
I'm gonna use Detect Magic and see if I can't find anything of sufficient magic.
That's not a bad idea.
Use some direct magic, kind of just wander around looking for magic. I mean, there will be magic here, I will tell you. But,
let me... Hold on, I'm curious about the level...
I believe it's like level 3 or level 5, which gives you finer control over Detect Magic.
Yeah, third, which we have now, you can learn the rank of the most powerful magical effect in the spell text as determined by the... So basically, I'm just going to be looking for the most powerful spell that I can, because I'm going to assume that's a very complicated, powerful magic.
Okay, where are you doing this at, then?
I'm starting with the Dean's office while we kind of search around.
Okay.
Calder,
will
do you want to
detect
check?
something.
What's up?
There seems to be a powerful magic on the one wall here.
Okay.
What was that?
I was going to ask if you wanted to check the alchemy lab while we're getting this done, so...
Oh, well, don't mind if I do. I'll head over there. Well, these guys are doing magic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sad ferret noises.
I am of no help here. I am not the magic man.
You are alchemy, which is a type of magic, kinda.
Nah, more natural sciences and magics. Not like I wiggle my fingers and detonate your brainstem magic.
I wiggle my fingers and
Okay.
detonate your brain.
I will tell you, the alchemical lab is probably one of the best you've ever been to. It is like the kind of thing a master level alchemist would use. It is fairly well intact too. It seems as though there isn't any raw material to work with. Most of the tools and stuff were just left here. Most of them were large or very hard to transport. Probably was obviously assumed that, more pocket or small handheld material would be much better if anybody needed to use alchemical. Do some alchemy on the fly, rather than take apart this massive lab.
I'm going to... I think I already have an alchemist toolkit on me.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do want to say it would take me a while because I can't just pinpoint it until level 4. I'd basically have to play hot cold until I figured out where it was.
Pretty much.
And unfortunately, we don't have the thievery person anymore.
So,
I'm thievery.
Oh yeah, you do have lockpicks. That's right.
Yep.
I have.
You just don't have the
thievery.
rat.
I have thievery trained. It's not great.
I'm untrained, so.
I'm just trained.
Oh, mine is better than Eskret's.
Oh.
I am an 11 trained.
Yeah, probably because you have a much higher dexterity.
Yeah, it's just a
guess.
gunslinger thing. I'm gonna be searching around for the most complete formulary I can, so I don't have to carry a bunch of stuff. Preferably with the most advanced formulas.
There really won't be a lot of material that was left in use here in the lab, I'll say. It seems as though perhaps at the time of abandonment, no one was working. Give me a craft alchemy, but it's going to be, we're going to use this as your, let's call it like a recall, knowledge, or lore check.
Gotcha.
22 is good enough.
You can use other skills as recall knowledge.
Yeah. As you're kind
Crafting
of like
is my best.
looking around here and thinking about it, you're like, oh, you know, you need a lab like this to kind of determine information from a certain thing that you have in a box downstairs.
Oh yeah. We did want to do tests on that thing.
True.
This is probably the best lab you could have, and honestly speaking, though it might be hard to get some materials, there might be materials left behind here you can use from various storerooms and stuff too.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna be able to when we get back to the town. The town's gonna be destroyed anyways. I'm gonna run over and grab Talas. I need your help moving the bird.
Okay, so you can start moving the bird to the lab. Ixbanor, yeah. I guess give me whatever identify magic is. That or
So here's the thing: identify magic does depend on the source of the magic.
This
so it would be Arcana if it's arcane, or nature if it's primal.
This would be nature, I would say.
Yeah.
I can't. Can I help you? No, I guess not. Because I'm not detecting it. I have nature plus 11. I'm trained.
Do you have detect?
No.
Ooh.
That is a problem because you do have to.
If you're identifying magical objects, you don't need to detect magic.
You might have to see the object.
Yeah, but you do need to detect
magic.
You
do have to know it's there, which I think is the
that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, so I could, but like I could point it out to him probably. I'm looking that up.
Mm-hmm.
General skill. Where is identify magic?
Well, to point out something is just one action,
mm-hmm.
and it gives allies a vague idea of where, and they can then attempt to seek.
This is the wording. Once you have discovered, actually, why don't I just put it into here? Identify magic. Yeah. So once you have discovered an item, location, or ongoing effect is magical, you can spend 10 minutes to identify the particulars of the magic. So there is a sort of rule, by the way, where you can use unrelated skills at a higher difficulty.
Yeah.
So I could still try with Arcane because honestly, I'm much better at doing a higher difficulty check with Arcane.
Sure.
Because that's a plus 12 versus Nature, which is a plus.
Okay.
So, yeah, just know to put the difficulty higher. Oh my god, that was a 2.
You're unsure of the nature of the magic of this whatever is going on this wall here. There's magic here.
Well, if you point it out to me, I could try.
I will, because I'll be like, Umbrin.
You know what this magic is? I just can't tell. It's weird and like primal. A lot about primal.
Go nature.
Hey, that is a lot better. So, alright. So you'll kind of study the area of the wall, and you will realize the wall is basically, it can transform. The magic of it means that the wall changes its shape.
So it's kind of like might be some kind of like almost living safe kind of thing.
Yeah. Or maybe something like maybe like a secret door, except it's not always a door.
Yeah.
But could lead to like a safe or small room or something like that, yes.
Mm-hmm. So with a critical success, you do learn how to activate it.
Yeah, you know how to activate this.
Do you want me to open it?
Yes.
I
Alright.
will.
So you will basically, it's like touching a number of, like pulling on a number of books and putting them back in a specific order. That changes it, and the entire thing will kind of meld and transform. The books almost being part of this entire wall, and it will become a doorway, a wooden door and doorway.
Isn't that a neat trick?
Yes.
Well, what can I see inside? I do have dark vision.
But when you're opening the door,
Yeah, I mean,
inside is a small chamber. There is a lantern in here with a magical light within it that keeps the entire thing bright constantly. What you can see here is, at first and foremost, back in the room seems to be a pedestal where a book would have been once held, a strange mirror on the back wall, a circle in the middle of the room that seems to be lit with old black candles of some kind of ritual, along with a small table with tools on it that don't look particularly pleasant. They look more akin to tools you'd have for torture.
that's
Okay,
weird.
Does this mirror remind me of a mirror we saw in an alchemy lab recently?
Yes.
Well, I think I realize why the Dreadlord told you that the fall of the city is inevitable. If he has people in the city already that he's communicating with.
This is not good. I guess I'll look around and see if there's anything useful.
Sure. I mean, there's some torturous tools if you really want them.
No.
There is an old circle of some kind with nearly burnt down black candles and the remnants of some kind of strange black crystal down at the center of it. There's this nice mirror along with this set of 3 emeralds.
I'll take the 3 emeralds.
Actually, yes.
I can use the gems. Can I make an occultism check to see if
Sure.
I can figure out what this was?
Yeah.
Let's see. Go occultism.
You're unsure. Whatever remnants of the ritual, it's too gone for you to tell what it was.
Got it. Well, let me add 3 gems to my inventory, so now I have a total of 6. That's a lot of gold pieces.
Give me another perception check, actually, because you might be able to notice some things here.
Sure.
Okay.
One, two?
Sure.
Okay. There's a chance I can roll higher. Not a great one. Actually, yeah, I did.
Wow.
Ixbanor. Ixbanor will notice something that Umbrin did not. Within the podium where books once stood, seems to be a little area that almost slides out of the way. There's almost a little door on it. And inside you will find a strange black gem. Looks a lot like the one in the circle down there.
Can we make any kind of check on the gem?
If you want to roll, You can roll occultism on the gem, I guess, too. Maybe? So you see
can
one
I
in
roll-
half.
Yeah, can I roll Arcana?
Sure, you can roll your own.
Yeah!
Okay.
I'm rolling well right now.
Yep.
As far as you can tell, Umbrin, the gem itself seems to contain an aspect of some kind of magic, partial aspect. But Ixbanor, as you're kind of studying that and looking at the ritual, you'll be able to put some things together from an experience you had. You think whatever ritual was here can open up a portal to the area of the nether world you just were.
Oh.
It wouldn't be as stable as the ones you've used, but if someone wanted to leave very quickly. Granted, you're not 100% sure that it would connect up to that network, but you're putting basically 2 and 2 together because
Yeah.
otherwise it's kind of where would it end up in Netherworld.
Yeah.
And it's not stable enough to go deeper into the Netherworld, basically.
Yep. Well. Yeah, I think Avanswell is screwed.
I said that.
I had hope before.
I mean, we don't know how soon it'll be moved on. We might still be able to evacuate some people.
But that said, this can be very... Can I study the ritual?
You could perhaps. You roll decently enough. I think, more than likely, this version of the ritual is less stable and probably allows for less distance travel than, let's say, one of the more major rituals that we would have before. So whoever would have used this had to go not too far. If you would use this now, maybe looking outside, that horrific black tower in the distance is probably as far as you could maybe go with this thing here.
Okay. Because basically my thought is, does the ritual look like it could be used to... I know it can't be used to travel far, but does it look like it could be used... does it have to connect up to that network, or can it just be used to move a short distance?
Theoretically connect up to that network, but the fact is also, it's probably not made for a large group of people.
Okay, so it's basically only one person.
The circle with the black candles was big enough for a medium-sized creature to sit.
Okay, so basically, okay, because I was wondering if I could use it for our party if we need to get some of it.
Basically, remember, the one we went through, there's a reason they don't take their armies through. So, and this one's even significantly smaller, so it kind of makes sense.
I know.
Give me another Arcana check. Give me another one.
Plus, I don't know if we want to go through the portals again.
15. Okay. You kind of can think about it, and you're like, it does seem relatively dangerous and, individual based. So, probably not in a great way, unless you wanted to honest. If there's a way to make more than one person go through it, you're not sure. Basically, is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay.
Maybe it's possible, but again, as far as you can tell, maybe forcing open a door, which could be dangerous.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying that out loud that I think we should use these as last plays as a last resort.
I 100% agree, but it's worth knowing about if, let's say we're in Avanswell and the place is being destroyed, it might be nice to have a way out if we're surrounded.
Yeah, but the way out would probably be into one of their stronghold towers, which
where
would
the
probably
army wouldn't be, because they're
where they might
attacking
have where they might have backup forces.
I mean, you're concerned about
said it-
birchlings being falling for now? Avanswell hasn't even gotten that far, you know?
Oh, I just expect us to be. It's like, you know, and even if someone brings that up, we'll be like, oh, I just expect us to be there at some point, and who knows if it will end up being sieged while we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, my goal is to learn how to do this ritual.
Okay. You can take the basic information to it. Might take some time to say. Alright.
Yep.
In the meantime, Calder, you and Talas will be able to get the bird monster up into the laboratory. I guess if you want to, give me a craft alchemy to see if you can get some work done, using the samples you have and the stuff. So the other two seem to be busy, if you want to kind of handle trying to figure out stuff on this thing.
Bird's fucking heavy.
23.
Heavy,
Not
he's
a
our
bad
birdie.
roll. So you're kind of be taking a look at it and, you know, using your samples to, like, kind of break down what this, analyze what's going on about, you know. Though this is traditionally outside a lot of what you know about alchemically, basically a lot of what you studied in here that leads you to, you know, gunpowders and materials like that is related in a lot of ways. Certainly biological is definitely a little bit more weirder, but you can kind of see some similarities as you're kind of exploring and understanding. So, you will be able to, at least with your base check, be able to tell there seems to be a similar chemical pattern to the various creatures' bodily fluids. If you... So basically, right now, you figured out a way to have, if the replacement beings that you've heard about are similar, you have a blood test to do it. It'd be time-consuming, but you could blood test for it.
Could I, if they're doing ritual stuff, potentially find, since I can isolate specific traits in blood, using what materials I have on hand and any of my, not my quick alchemy stuff, but my advanced alchemy stuff, maybe find something I could use to potentially feed something carrying similar signatures in their blood, where they'd have like a mild adverse allergic reaction. Something that wouldn't be like, oh, anaphylactic shock, but something like, we could spot that, and then we're like, okay, so you have that in you.
Give me another craft alchemy check. Let's see if you can put something together.
Please.
30's pretty good. You'll take some
that
time.
way it can be like water supply distributed and more widespread.
Yeah. You'll put together something, and it's definitely like you'll have to make more of it, but you'll definitely find something that you are pretty sure is a chemical formula that would have a basic mild allergic reaction to these things. So yeah. The materials here that you use to make it aren't exactly the most easiest. So, widespread across the city, kind of difficult to do. But, you know, certainly speaking, if you got enough materials, it could be possible. But you definitely could make enough. And there's a little bit of a supply here that you can maybe make, like, let's say, like, 2 dozen doses right now worth that you have. And after that, if you could find more materials, you think you could make more, but they aren't the most common materials.
Fair enough, but that works for me. That's progress.
Yeah. So you couldn't test the entire city, but you certainly could test probably important people to see if anybody's, like, you know, government people have been replaced horribly by monstrosities.
Yeah. The biggest thing was just, like, trying to find a more time-conscious method.
Yes.
That's also less invasive in case we need to be secretive.
It was a good call. Granted, it was a higher DC, but you made it.
let's reconvene. I'll have Talas and myself reconvene with the others. Dragging the bird just in case we still need him.
The bird will be like out in the hall as you meet up with the two of them, who are. You'll find them in this tiny side room that didn't exist before. That it looks kind of culty evil.
Oh, this is the decor is a bit grim, but decent news.
Then you see me writing in the evil symbols into a book.
So we finally lost them. Fair enough. Umbrin, good news. I've managed to synthesize a somewhat decent test to find out if anyone else has been corrupted and or replaced. It's not as extensive as I would like, but I'm working with what I have.
That is good. We have bad news.
Piss.
Looks like the Dean here was working with the Dread Army. Which means we could have people who maybe aren't experimented on who have flipped sides.
Oh.
Hal's gonna shake his head and be like, feared one's life could lead some weak-willed people to strings.
I guess. That complicates a lot, actually.
So, knowing who are potential traitors is good, but the only thing is that doesn't weed out someone who is willingly working with them.
Great.
We can determine those who are effectively possessed, but not the ones who are turncoats.
I'm gonna turn about the room. Should we bring the torture equipment then?
Up to you?
I don't think the thing is, we'd have to have a reason to suspect someone to just start torturing.
That's a good point.
I don't think it's a practical idea to just torture everyone.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because if we
It's fine,
start
I still have
that,
my
they're
hammer.
going to point fingers at us, going, maybe you guys should too, to make sure you're not.
Umbrin, take 2 damage, as now the bird monster is awake and shooting lasers from its eyes.
Oh, fuck. I'm gonna smack it with my hammer.
Alright, it's unconscious again.
He wasn't doing that like 20 minutes ago, I swear.
Do
Actually,
we even need him anymore?
We can still make use of the weird glow he has for now. When we get out of here, we can kill him.
Or just leave him behind?
I'd rather not leave, personally. Actually, is this resin stuff breakable?
Yes?
We aren't 100% sure how you get things out of it.
That's
It's,
probably fine then.
If you wanted to, try chipping at it a little bit, I'd say, it isn't impossible to break, isn't, super hard, but it's like being in, crystal or stone or something, it's a tough material, but not impossible to break.
So Tantus, do I just learn this ritual, or do you want me to make, a check to learn?
You'll have to make a check to, learn it, I'd say.
What level, and is it rare or uncommon?
It's rare.
Thought so.
And I would say probably, I don't know compare, but I think level 5?
Decent DC then.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
Technically an occult ritual.
Yeah.
Because I think rare
be a
is adjusted
20...
incredibly hard, so it's like a plus 5
No,
to the
that's
DC.
plus 5. Yeah, it's plus 5. At least it's not unique, because that's a +10.
Yeah, that'd be cracked.
Yeah, but unique is one of a kind, so that's usually reserved for
Occultism.
monsters or magic items.
Yeah.
Well, wish me luck.
Would Umbrin be able to aid?
Oh yeah, you've been around. Can he aid me?
Because Umbrin's a smart guy, right?
Yeah. Well, I have a +11 to occultism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, I just roll my survival? Or, I mean, my occultism?
Yes.
Yeah, and then depending on what you get determines what
The
kind of
bonus.
bonus you get.
Yes. Yeah.
Nat 20.
Ooh. So
Pretty
you
good
give
roll.
me what?
What's
are
your
you
proficiency?
trained?
Expert.
Yeah, what's your proficiency?
So that's a
I'm an
+2.
expert.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. If it was a master, it'd be +3.
Yep.
Wish I could give you my roll.
Fuck.
Oh.
Oof. A 2.
Got a hero point?
I used my hero point already.
Yeah.
I prefer use theirs. Fortunately.
I have one, but I don't think you can give it to someone, can you?
No,
I don't think so.
unfortunately not.
Okay.
I know there's some other uses to it, but I can't remember them off the top of my head because I remember what's different between second edition and first edition.
One of them is to stabilize. You have to spend all of your skill, all of your remaining hero points, and then you stabilize automatically.
Yeah.
You can still be hit and then hurt again, but yeah. So that's the other use. I think there's only just those two, unless they introduced more. somewhere else.
Yeah. What kind of timeline are we operating on?
I'm looking to see if you can try again.
Because
or
we can
how
take
long
more.
that take.
Well,
I
we
think-
also need to get back to town if we want to try to evacuate anyone there.
Yeah. So we're on a bit of a time crunch. I think if you fail to learn, if we're going by learning spell rules, if you fail, I think you take like a day. Oh no! If you fail, all right. So if it's going by spells, if you fail, you
spend
can only
1
try again
hour
after you
per-
gain a level.
Well, no. It's 1 hour per spell rank.
Oh, we
And you
didn't
have to
have 5 hours.
Yeah. So
Oh, true.
I mean, I could copy as much as I can and try and learn it later. I think is what I'm basically gonna have to do anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just 1 hour, but no, it's 1 hour per spell rank. So yeah, that's.
We're gonna need another
and
way out of here.
you can try again. So the problem is you have to do a price based. You have to spend money. So it's for 5th level spell it's 70 GP, and so yeah, basically I couldn't even try it anyway. Yeah, basically you have to spend materials to try and do the stuff. So yeah.
Okay, but if you want to try to run the ritual in the future, we know what you can do to do it.
Yeah.
Alright,
It's just gonna take time and money.
so what's the plan then now?
Yeah,
I guess
the
that
downside.
we
As
need
once
to-
again, the red lightning kind of shadows across the sky as now the rains have currently stopped at very least. There's got this nice hole in the dean's office that points out to the giant black tower in the distance, illuminated by the red lightning.
I think we need to get to the basement and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's
Agreed.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And I
be
think
careful.
that's where that tower in the distance is where I think that portal that I moved would have let us out at.
Probably. Well, best make our way then.
When
Do
did
we
that
even want to
get
worry about the
here?
bird anymore? We got what we need from it.
What was that question?
When did that tower even get here? Would I have heard? Okay, being in the people who were in the fending thing, would I have heard about a black tower appearing outside of a city before it
No.
got invaded?
Never.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
That
it was
tower-
constructed afterwards.
possible, but Why? What would be the purpose?
Maybe the network has to have points that you can only go so far with. It needs anchors.
Possible.
Or maybe that's what's corrupting the land.
It may be a piece of what's corrupting the land. I doubt the tower itself is the whole.
Well, what's in the tower is what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, might as well start making our way over. Do we even care about the bird anymore? I think
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, we got our use out of it.
Its weird purple aura is protecting us to a degree.
Only barely, and it's only just going to slow us down at this point.
I say
the laser thing is really putting me off.
I say we bring it with us and put it at the top of the stairs that lead to the basement. As a deterrent.
Fair enough.
As a deterrent.
Alright, let's start.
As a deterrent?
I said as a deterrent, but I like as a turret better.
Let's start making our way over to the basement.
Turret mode activated.
And we'll just leave the bird at the top.
Alright. So, the currently knocked out bird will be at the top of the stairs and get that down into the basement. Now, there's a bunch of storage down in the basement, but eventually you can make your way to where you heard the portal was. Good news, they did not collapse the tunnel. Bad news, there's this nice iron door at the end. It's currently closed.
Is there a visible lock on it? Like a locking mechanism?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the door. Can I see if there's any traps or anything?
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. I was just about to walk up and start
You don't see any.
fiddling with the door.
As far as you can tell.
What do we got? We got the go-ahead?
Looks clear to me.
Alright, watch the stairs and make sure no f***s come down. I'm gonna start, I do have Thieves Toolkit, so I'm gonna start trying to pick a lock.
I do too. You probably have a better score than me.
I am at an 11 currently.
I'm at a 10, so yeah, you are slightly better than me.
Marginally. First roll.
So far, no.
Damn.
How long have we been looking around?
How long have you been looking around? I'm thinking about that, sorry. And that is a yes, that's a success.
Okay, one success.
Doesn't matter then, because I was debating about giving him guidance.
Oh yeah, the guidance, so.
Yeah.
But
it's
we'll
big,
require
one
more
check.
than one success for this.
Yeah, because locks generally require.
28 will be enough to get it then fine. So 2 checks and 2 successes. At a pretty high difficulty, we will manage to open up this lock. It was indeed DC 25.
Fair enough.
It was a very good lock, you know. Hey, you know, sealing away a powerful portal, you're gonna have something more very difficult.
Yeah, you don't want your average.
Nah, you just want any mook to be able to pick it. What are you talking
about? You can see this massive room is in the center of it is a large circle that seems to be the basically the etched magical circle part of the teleportation circle. There does seem to be a number of 3 different kind of statuary, 3 kind of pedestal areas that kind of surround on the sides. One of the sides seems to basically be open up with something would be placed on top of it, and you can see down to the side is the shattered remains of some kind of crystal. That looks like someone basically picked it up and tossed it down on the ground. It's a very quick and dirty way of destroying the crystal, you know?
Yeah. Is there like a slot, or is it just like a pedestal?
It looks as though it was just kind of like on the pedestal. Maybe perhaps it like suspended there, or kind of like floated above it or something.
I contemplate for a few seconds about putting the black gem on the pedestal, but then realize that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, that would be
The other two pedestals basically control. One of them is basically the I'd say basic control of it, and the other one is a place that seems to carry the power. Currently has 0 power, and the control area is, I'd describe it as damage. So, destroy the crystal, damage the controls, and it's unpowered.
Mm-hmm.
At very least, they did their job they were supposed to do.
Could we channel our magic into it to power it, maybe?
That could work.
Mm-hmm.
You would need a combined total of... you need to use up a bunch of, basically, levels worth of magic. I don't know how much magic everybody has.
I have,
It's... Yeah, Talas technically has none, because he just has a focus spell.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a third. Let's see, 1/3.
Yeah,
rank.
Umbrin and I are both full casters.
I have 1/3 rank, 2
which is
Or
currently
2
432, so that would be 9.
Well, I also have.
Oh wait, no, sorry, that's not how that works.
Oh, you have your prepared slots as well, right?
Yeah, I have my prepared slots. I also have stuff from my spirits. So
Yeah, we should each have 16 total
So-
in spell numbers.
You think that between the two of you, yeah, I guess give me an Arcana check. Someone wants to give me that. You can. Anybody
I
can
could
roll.
try to assist you. Is that possible
Go
or
ahead.
no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just need a 15 to give me a +1. You
Yeah.
need
Well,
a
let's
20
see if I can assist you. Cause oh wait, I'm
Arcana
untrained.
check.
Can I do that untrained?
So,
Yeah, you can assist
Okay.
untrained.
Just
It's
making
unlikely
sure.
to succeed.
yeah, there are certain skill activities that require
Hey!
certain proficiencies.
Actually, yeah, that is a good point. Technically,
Usu-
if
Usually,
yeah.
Aid doesn't, unless the GM says this is a particular.
I think this is fine for you with some base level, because you do have some magical knowledge. Your base level of arcane knowledge is not very great, but you might have enough that you can basically get some insight. So I'll allow this case, especially because you are still a spellcaster.
Yep.
So hey, +1.
Yeah,
I can guidance you.
it's a good bonus.
oh,
Also true.
well, yeah, so you can give me a plus. So that'll be a
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
don't really have an exact number, but you think between, since both of you are fairly refreshed and have most of your spells, you think between the two of you, you might have enough magical energy, but you probably have to give up pretty much all of your magic for the day.
Yeah, technically, I am down 1/3 level slot.
Yeah.
I have everything, and I mean, at least we'd still have cantrips.
Yeah.
It's because it's not as effective as a general teleportation spell, and it's made a much more powerful circle. It basically uses. I'll kind of give that as at least twice the amount of slot levels as with just casting circle teleportation in.
Yeah,
So
which I think is 7. So that'd be 14. So that'd be basically almost all of ours.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, all of one of ours, but
Well, basically, I was gonna say around 20 to 25 is the number you
Got it.
need.
okay,
So you should have enough for the two of you, but you're gonna have to give up pretty much all of it.
but closer to 3 times. That's fair.
Anyway, so you do think you have enough magic power, but you'll have to give up a lot of yours to activate teleportation. But you don't have a target, and the controls are still damaged.
Yes, we need to fix the controls.
Uh,
I'm going to examine them. Let's start with that.
Okay, cool.
Doable.
What kind of check would that be?
guess an Arcana could work. But it's also like, it's like, I'd say, Artifice or Magic Engineering to a degree. I don't know what kind of check that would be other than Arcane.
So technically,
Engineering,
Artifice.
you said.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, technically that would be if it's like a mixture of like mechanical and stuff. It actually would probably fall under crafting.
Could I aid him with my crafting? If there
Sure.
are mechanical components here.
There are level of mechanical components here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I will give you.
Yeah, because you got to remember, crafting is also for creating magical items. So
Yeah. Your Arcana and my crafting are just about comparable, so I'll give you the aid.
well, I aid you on the crafting. I aid you with Arcana on the crafting. I
Oh,
think that'd
you
be
aided.
better.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I was playing.
Oh,
Okay.
my
you-
bad. I
Well,
misunderstood.
let's see what your aid is, because then we'll just take the crafting roll, because now
Yeah.
we're in direction.
Plus one only.
29.
So it's 29.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll take a look at it, and your expertise as a baker, certainly there's aspects of this that you're not great at, but Ixbanor can kind of like correct you and imply a little bit.
That's why I rolled
You
Arcana,
think-
because technically I'm aiding him with Arcana on his crafting.
You think you could probably jury-rig this to work once. It wouldn't be great, and honestly, there is a chance it might explode afterwards. Because, again, one thing, you don't know the exact... You have a general estimation of the amount of magical energy you have put in here, and because you basically are like, we should just channel all the magic we have into this thing over here, it'll probably be overkill. By how much? You don't know. And, leftover energy won't go well. I'm not sure how
It's
big
not like we're trying to get this place back.
Yeah. It's not
So-
gonna be fun.
There is
And
one
it's-
issue.
Oh.
There's no way to target it right now. There isn't a crystal over there, which is what is used to basically tell this where to go.
Could I put one of the gems, the emerald gems, on there?
I don't
They-
think that would work.
Aren't really tuned to a place you want to go.
Hmm.
Can we point it in a direction?
Is that something I'd be able to do? Maybe focus it and try and get somewhere that doesn't kill us?
Yeah, basically, can we point it south and just hope we make it past the the evil lands?
Kind of like a cannon. Like,
Yeah.
can we put it in a general direction and then we fire it off and just hope?
Sure.
Well, it's not going to be particularly pleasant. And I'm not
Nope.
sure how much power this thing needs.
I need to look up some stuff here. Those were, we need some information. Maybe us. Yeah. We'll look up some things. Because we'll leave off, with you doing this, and we'll see how well this goes.
Yep.
Alright. So. Cool. So we'll start with, because Calder, you're in charge of this, I need you to roll me 2d100s.
Oh god.
Oh, no.
And a d8 afterwards.
Oh, I don't like the D8.
Okay, 273. Cool.
Direction.
Great. 3. Alright.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Great. Okay. Alright. Now, I will need... What do I need from all of you? I need all of you who are going to be going through the teleportation
Oh, that
circle.
was 2D200.
Oh, was it 2D200?
Oh, yeah.
That was. That's my bad. Let me reroll that.
Yeah. That is a little higher of a number. I did not.
Yeah, I was like, how'd you get over 200?
There we go.
173.
173.
Yeah,
Better.
I was confused.
Still
for
high
a second.
rolls for an 81 and a 92. Still high rolls, but that's my bad.
I was just like, how'd you get over 200 with 2D100?
You were just trying to go
Question
straight
not my ways.
south, right? You were trying to go straight south, right?
Basically,
So
yeah.
sure that. All right, cool. All right. I will need now. Everybody, give me a will save. Let's just see what this does. I'm going to put a difficulty DC at 20. It was a standard DC right now. See what you roll. It'll make a difference how bad or well you roll on each.
Okay.
We got a 20.
Gotta get at least an 11.
We need a Talas roll too.
Okay, I can. I'll do that.
Great.
He's actually got a decent will.
I would imagine he does.
But he just
A
rolled
19.
under.
Okay.
Can I use Talas' hero point?
Sure, you can use Talas at 8 and a 14.
Yikes. Oh. That's
Okay.
better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ow.
So you will basically like play around with this kind of device and kind of jury rig it together, and then be like, as it's like, you know, on, you're like, power it up! As then like Ixbanor and Umbrin like basically like grab these two rods and like channel all of their magical energy into this entire thing, and like everything will power on, and then release this kind of like beginning of this like humming noise, which is getting louder and louder and louder and very quickly getting louder. It doesn't sound good. And all of a sudden you kind of be like, you know, Calder, you're like, just jump on! As everybody kind of jumps in the circle as you like activate it, and then just fling you instantaneously somewhere. Anyway,
Jump in the line.
we are going to figure out where you are before we end today, because things are happening with you going in places, which are important as you go south.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do want to say I thought of a great analogy for like what we basically just did. And it's like trying to fill a water balloon blindfolded with a hose.
yes, what you won't see is there will be a massive explosion that will destroy the building entirely. It's gone. You know, not there
And
was
some
much
plant
stuff
monsters and goblins and
left there. Yeah,
Look,
some
coming back
perfect
here
mutant
anyway.
goblins.
Another W for the Avanswell crew.
Anyway, so I will need from most of you a check except from one of you. Calder, both good news and bad news. You won't need to make a check. That's the good news.
No.
The bad news is you are going to be taking some damage as you are now partially merged in with a log floating in a river.
Oh,
I knew it was teleportation mishap.
So you will take 22 damage as now you are like kind of stuck in this log. Everybody else, roll athletics as you're just falling into a river somewhere.
Guys, I think it worked. Oh!
Oh! I'm part tree!
you said athletics?
Oh yeah.
it can't be acrobatics.
It's swimming.
Oh my god.
Well,
I
I'm
believe-
rolling. This is for Talas. I'll roll him first. Surprisingly, not great.
Surprisingly,
Yeah,
not
low
great.
roll. Yeah, decent
And-
roll. Pretty good.
Here's
Considering I get plus nothing.
yeah,
no.
and here's mine.
All
Oh my
right.
gosh!
Oh, wow.
I also have a
So
plus 0.
we'll figure out what's happening to the rest of us. As Calder, you are stuck in a tree in like some rapids, as the rest of your friends are now in the water going away from you.
It all went so wrong. It went so wrong.
Fortunately, you're not in any more pain because you're like you replaced part of the tree. You're just stuck and it hurt a lot. You know.
I've seen better days.
He's a log. He's a log.
You do have to like get yourself out of said tree. But you're not floating away. They're just, we'll worry about what's happening with them next time. As they're just, the rest of them will kind of like tumble into the water, as we kind of will just teleport in here. When we rolled, it was not just south, it was southwest, which took you by that distance. I was looking at it and I'm like, that's kind of the river. That eventually does reach there, but you've gone that's very far to reach the place you have there. So yeah, you were, technically 173 miles off target.
Oh, that
Close
would be
enough.
off target. Oh no.
I knew that's what that.
Quickly.
I knew part of it was.
You
off target.
could have rolled to go back the way you came, which would have been really bad. You did
Yeah.
not.
Quickly, what's our travel speed? 16 miles per day.
You are surprisingly, technically, a lot closer than you would think, though. Because fortunately, it was not just south, it was southwesterly you went. Basically, from, if I said, like, back the way you came was 8, and going backwards, you had a 3. That's actually a good direction to go.
So it could be worse.
You kind of went in the direction you had to go to get back to the city. You just have to rescue all your friends, or they have to figure out how to rescue themselves as they are being swept away by the river.
Well, the river takes us towards the city.
I have
Takes us towards the city you just came from,
Oh shit!
I have
that's right.
one
The wrong way.
but many, many miles away.
That's rough.
I have one important question.
Uh-huh.
Do we see a waterfall?
Not at the moment, but who knows?
Okay.
Not at the moment.
Don't give the GM ideas.
Oh, that's
So-
I expected that the moment we were rushing downstream. I'm like, waterfall imminent.
That's always what happens next, isn't it?
Look,
Yeah.
Calder traded damage for safety.
Yeah, true. I mean, hey, I'll take it. I can't swim worth shit, dude.
Apparently none of you can. Alright.
Well, I have an athletics of 0. I'm not trained.
Water bad. Well,
Oh, Lord.
hey, you're theoretically back in your homeland now, in the Waterlands. At least border of it. So, hey,
Well, at
thumbs up.
least we're not in, Deathville.
Yeah, true. So
You did
it's
manage to escape there.
a market improvement.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse. We could have just ended up in the middle of the Swamp Larns with everything trying to eat us and no magic.
Yeah, would have just been worse off. Well, if we travel at absolute top speed, we can make it to town in 11 days.
We are traveling very fast right now, I assume.
Again,
in the river. Yeah.
3 of you are going the wrong direction currently, so you do have to kind of stop that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
The river,
Well,
the river does go. You want to go west, and the river does go from west to east, and then eventually switches north, where it then meets up with that giant lake, where that city
And
was.
guidance myself to try to swim better.
Hundreds of miles downriver, basically.
I should be able to help you guys get out. I'm actually somewhat decent at swimming.
Once you get out of a tree.
Yeah, once I went my way out.
The rest of you will have opportunities. We'll find out, though, if you can save yourselves or horribly drown in the river. Who knows?
Yeah.
And maybe Talas can roll well. But I'm guessing, being dropped in a sudden river just throws you off your game.
Just a touch.
Mm-hmm. he dropped in, teleported. Wyrm, you have a shoutouts normally. I don't know if anybody else does, but I assume you do. So
I am Diamond Wyrm. You can find me on twitch.tv/DiamondWyrm or at DiamondWyrm on Twitter and Blue Sky. I completely forgot to upload videos on YouTube. I just realized.
Get him.
And on YouTube at DiamondWyrm9234. Next stream should be Friday.
Mhm.
Yeah. Same time as this fool.
yes. Alright, for myself, hey, I didn't really give a big introduction at the beginning, but I'm Dracovin. I run the game here. You can check out my channel over on YouTube, but all the rest I do over here on Twitch. I'd say if you are joining us, just give a little bit of subscription there, make sure to give a little support that way, do a shout out there, so let us know what you, how you enjoyed our amazing and fantastic adventures. So, hope you did enjoy everything. I'll be back for this week for things like Wyrm and other hip-hop stuff and other gaming stuff, so make sure you check them out there. Alright, everybody, thank you. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the show. And until next time, I'll say farewell and goodbye.